If you're planting in April, you're already ahead of most gardeners. This is the sweet spot. The soil is warming up, the frost is behind you, and everything you put in the ground right now has the whole summer to establish and explode with color. Today, we're looking at 7 perennials that are perfect for April planting. And the best part? These come back every single year. Some of these you've probably heard of, but a few might completely surprise you. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list is Coneflower, one of the boldest, most reliable perennials you can plant this April. It thrives in full sun, handles drought without complaint, and produces striking purple-pink blooms from midsummer all the way into fall. Plant it once and it self-seeds and spreads, giving you more plants every year for free. Unlike most perennials that need regular dividing or fertilizing, Echinacea genuinely thrives on neglect. Poor soil, summer heat, dry spells, it handles all of it without skipping a beat. Once it's established, it basically runs itself. The blooms are bold and eye-catching, with raised copper centers that add texture even after the petals drop. Birds flock to the seed heads in fall, so the visual interest doesn't stop when summer ends. It's one of those plants that earns its spot in the garden every single year. Baptisia is the underrated workhorse that serious gardeners swear by, but most people walk right past at the nursery. It sends up tall spikes of deep blue-purple flowers in late spring, and after blooms fade, dark decorative seed pods carry the visual interest well into winter. It's slow in year 1, but by year 3, it becomes an absolute showstopper. Once established, Baptisia is one of the most drought-tolerant perennials in existence. Zero supplemental watering needed in most climates. The root system goes incredibly deep, which is exactly why it survives conditions that kill other plants. It also fixes nitrogen in the soil, so everything planted nearby benefits too. The blue-green flower spikes are dramatic and architectural, giving the garden a structured, intentional look. The blue-green foliage stays attractive long after blooming season ends. This is a plant you invest in once and enjoy for decades. Black-eyed Susan is as dependable as perennials get. Bright golden yellow blooms with that signature dark center that pops from summer straight through early fall. It spreads naturally over time, quietly filling in bare spots without any help from you. For pure, effortless color that lasts all season, very few plants compete. It tolerates poor soil, handles heat, and keeps producing blooms even when conditions get tough. No deadheading, no special fertilizer, no complicated care routine. Just plant it, water it in, and let it do its thing. The cheerful yellow flowers brighten up any corner of the garden and pair beautifully with almost everything else on this list. Cut a few stems and bring them inside. They last surprisingly well in a vase. Classic for a reason. Penstemon is one of the most underrated perennials available, and it deserves a permanent spot in every American garden. It produces tall spikes of tubular flowers in shades of purple, red, and pink that hummingbirds absolutely cannot resist. Plant it in April, and you'll have blooms by early summer that last for weeks. It actually prefers dry, well-drained soil, making it perfect for spots where other plants struggle and give up. No heavy watering, no rich amended beds required, just good drainage and full sun, and it thrives. The vertical flower spikes add height and structure to the garden, while the colors are genuinely striking. Pair it with low-growing ground covers at the base, and the contrast is stunning. Once you grow penstemon, it becomes a permanent fixture in your yard. Daylilies are the definition of plant it and forget it, and April is the perfect time to get them in the ground. They multiply on their own, adapt to almost any soil condition, and produce wave after wave of blooms throughout summer. They come in hundreds of colors, from pale yellow to deep burgundy, so there's a variety for every garden style. Each individual flower only lasts a day, but there are so many buds per stem that you'll never feel shortchanged. No deadheading needed, no dividing required for years. They just keep performing season after season, without asking for much in return. A mature clump of daylilies in full bloom is one of the most impressive sights in a summer garden. The arching, strap-like foliage looks tidy and full even when the plant isn't blooming. Low maintenance and high impact. Exactly what this list is about. Ironweed is the perennial most gardeners have never heard of, and that needs to change immediately. It produces the most intensely saturated purple flowers you'll find anywhere in the perennial world, blooming in late summer when most other plants are winding down. It's tall, it's dramatic, and it makes everything planted next to it look better. Butterflies flock to ironweed like nothing else. We're talking dozens at a time during peak bloom. It's native to much of the US, so it's perfectly adapted to local conditions and needs almost no intervention. Plant it once, and it will reward you every August and September without fail. The deep jewel purple color is unlike anything else in the late summer garden. It pairs beautifully with the golden yellows of black-eyed Susan and the soft pinks of Echinacea. If your garden needs a late season anchor, this is it. Thermopsis is a cold climate superstar that deserves a spot at the top of every April planting list. It blooms earlier than almost anything else in the perennial garden, bright yellow spikes that show up in spring before the summer crowd even gets started. Deer-resistant, drought-tolerant, and completely unfussy once established. The root system runs deep, which makes it extraordinarily tough once it settles in. No staking, no fertilizing, no dividing for years. It simply comes back every spring, earlier and more impressive than the year before. Those bright yellow flower spikes are cheerful and architectural at the same time, adding a real structure to the early season garden. The blue-green foliage stays attractive long after the blooms fade. For early color with absolutely zero maintenance, nothing beats Thermopsis. Planting these 7 perennials this April guarantees a spectacular, low-maintenance summer garden. Always mix a rich layer of organic compost into the dirt to feed the new roots. Water them deeply, but infrequently, to build an incredibly strong drought tolerance. The cool spring soil allows them to establish perfectly before the harsh summer heat finally hits. You can simply relax and enjoy a vibrant, colorful landscape that effortlessly returns every single year.